Hey, welcome back. Now we drive, part 4, John Cooper Works project. And a little bit of difference starting inside today because over the last few weeks, would you believe this video, I've started outside 4 times. Welcome back to Now We Drive. So once again, hey, welcome back. Radiator time. And every time I've tried to produce content for the video, I've ended up having to stop because of an issue with the car. So I thought I'd start inside today. It's a little bit chilly outside this morning, so I thought I'd recap on exactly where we're up to and what we're going to do today. Now, if you remember from I think it's the teardown video we looked at, there was, I don't know if you remember the front of the car. I'll try and run some B-roll here, but just to have a look, it looked like some form of, whether it was, I didn't know if it was auto, it actually turned out to be the air conditioning pump. Now the pump, if you remember, had one little straggly white wire that I thought was a switch or was going somewhere. Actually, on closer inspection, it was a cut wire that was just pinched right at the block. And I had a little look at trying to repair it, couldn't figure out how to do it. It needed a special tool. I couldn't buy the loom. The loom was, well, not only 400 and odd quid, but also it meant me going back way inside the engine. It was hours and hours of work, so I decided not to do that. Couldn't buy the block on its own to resolder it like I did with the Fiat 500. So we ended up phoning a local auto electrician. He popped round, 80 quid, resoldered it, but it was all checked and that was all done. Fantastic. So with the electrics done, that meant that I was able to think about putting all of the front end back on, which was first the radiator air conditioning unit and the turbo intercooler. On closer inspection, you'll see from this footage that it was pretty much irreparable. The 2 legs that fit into the lower chassis, where the whole unit actually sits on within the car, were snapped off during the crash. I had a look around, had a look at Mini, had a look at buying a new one. That was 540 quid inclusive of VAT. There was a few second-hand ones on eBay. I looked at it, they were 200, 250 quid. Then I came across a really nice site. I'll put the link in the description. Spoke to the guy online, he was really nice. They were now building new intercoolers, upgraded intercoolers, what would not only give you an extra between 7 and 10 brake horsepower, but also a reduction in cooling of the turbo air by up to a 15, they said 15 to 20%, because the intercooler unit is so much bigger and its cooling efficiency so much higher that it allowed for the turbocharger to run more efficiently going forward. So that was great. So have a look at this now. This is the new whole unit put back together. As you can see, it's made of metal instead of this. The outside of the old one was made of plastic. So I'm sure the heat evaporation, for want of a better word, is much greater. So that was great. So I put all of that together, got it ready to be fitted, and then we hit another snag. There was no way I could have seen this. So I put all of the radiator, all of the front, let's call it the radiator unit, which is the air conditioning and the turbo intercooler, all back together. So then I fitted it to the car, put all the pipes back on. It's a pretty lengthy job. There's 7 or 8 pipes and wires and bits and pieces that to put on. I put the turbo send and return into the exchanger, and I started to fill it up with water. And as quickly as I filled it up with water, it started gushing out the bottom of the car. I'm thinking, oh my God, what the hell is this? Out comes the radiator again. There's this pipe, which again, I'll show you on the B-roll. You can't see it from the front, but on the impact of the car, what's happened is that the main plastic Y piece of the pipe has basically got a massive hole in it, and that hole was just leaking water as fast as I could put it in. Found it, had to take the airbox off and rerouted it around the car. Went to Mini, that was 56 quid or something, but I was happy because it came as one piece. Plugged it all back in, And yesterday, got the radiator back on. Not only this, but I also put £6 worth of antifreeze, thinking it was going to be absolutely finished. And filled it all up. And what happened? Water gushed out of it again. I'm like, oh my God, what is going on? Now, once again, I'll show you. There is a thing on there called the automatic gearbox oil cooler. Now, to keep the oil cooler cool, what it does, it takes a feed from the radiator and the water to keep it nice and cold. Unfortunately, where the impact has gone, the top of the oil cooler for the gearbox, it's actually completely snapped off. So what that means is that as water comes into the system, there's a pipe that goes into the oil cooler, just pees out everywhere all over the floor. So I took it off. It was completely unserviceable. I can't take any risk by gluing it back up, because I don't want to have a situation where I'm putting the whole car back together, finding out there's an issue and having to take off the front bumper, take off the grille and the radiators again. I want to get it absolutely perfect. So today I'm off back down to Mini to buy the automatic gearbox oil cooler and the pipe that goes with it, some more antifreeze. Now, a little bit of gearbox oil actually got out. You'll see there's two holes which I've now plugged up with plastic. So I'm going to top that up as well, which is it's not a bad job actually. I was checking online last night. You actually take the air box off where the air filter is, and there's a little nipple or torque screw. You take that off, you fill it up. The only thing is you have to get under the car, and there's an overflow screw where when it reaches a certain point it will start dripping out, so I can top it back up to its optimal level. So I'll do that as well, because imagine having a gearbox blow up just because you've forgot to fill up the oil, which would be annoying. There's a couple of fault codes on there, but I know what they are. When the engine was taken apart, it's got two plugs that was taken off. It was the ambient air temperature plug, which I've now put back on, and also there was a plug off the front of the engine which actually fed into the inlet manifold, and that again was to do with the turbocharger. So those fault codes, I'm sure once I get my OBD on them, they will go and the engine management light will be turned off. So I'm sure that'll be absolutely fine. Without further ado, let's get outside and let's get these parts on. And please, let's get the engine going with no leaks. Whew. Boy, what a horrible day. It's been raining all day, and I just want to get this done. So fitted the automatic transmission oil cooler, fitted the new pipe, and started the engine. No leaks, thankfully. Woohoo! Yeah, so should we have a quick look at what I've been doing? We'll start left to right. So water bottle fitted, frame fitted, carrier bar fitted, support bar fitted, intake manifold, intake air duct fitted, the cover was on already, the slam panels fitted. Now, I couldn't figure out whether or not if you can see the three layers here, there's a slam panel, there's this top brace piece that comes off the deformation bar. Now, I couldn't figure out whether the bracket fitted at the bottom or in between. Now, I think I put it on top, but the bonnet's not closing properly. Now, maybe because the bonnet's damaged, that it's not closing, and it's slightly out of shape, because I know I can adjust these on here, but if you see, it just won't close properly. I'm not sure why that is the case. I've not left anything in the at the top there, which I thought I did initially, but yeah, it's just not closing right. So maybe I can readjust those. It's not a major problem. It's an easy fix. But yeah, so slam panel full on, everything's all put back together. Yeah, and let's have a quick jump in the car. Ignition on. So I cleared the fault codes, which means there was an engine management light which has gone off, which is great. The tyres are off. I took the front wheels off, so that's absolutely fine. Obviously the lighting system's not going to be working because there's no lights at the front. But besides that, besides being extremely dirty in here, it seems to be okay. No water in the washer fluid, which is fine. Yeah, engine's okay. In general, I'm really happy. Engine's fine. The water level, I've been checking. Let's have a look. It's okay. Let's have a look. It's okay. Just on the max. Obviously, as the engine turns and runs and stuff, it's going to kind of get rid of all of the air in the system. So next step, I'm not really sure where this relay goes. I know what it is. It's the fan relay, but I'm not sure whereabouts it actually fits on the body. So I'm gonna have to do a little bit more investigation on this. I've got the ambient sensor which goes on the grill, no problem at all. I've got the horn. Now I'm not really sure where the horn goes. Again, I'm gonna have to have another look, but I think it fits on here. Again, I'm not too sure. We'll have to figure that one out. What else? What else we got to do? We've got to do the brake air ducts. They'll fit in here to go into the grill. Again, brake air ducts go into here. Put the inner wings in. But in general, everything seems to be okay. Yeah, fan's on for a reason. I'm not sure why the fan's on, given it's just started up. I did let it run for a little while and it went off after a period. Not sure on that one. But there was no water. The only water underneath is coming from the rain because I'm absolutely soaked. Because I can't just keep putting this off. And a bit of rain was never going to put me off. So we've taken a major step forward today. Really happy. Obviously, there's of course still quite a bit of work to be done, but wow, it's actually not leaking, which is, as I say, it's been the bane of my life over the last week or so. So stay tuned. I'm looking forward to what's it now, part 5 next time, and I want to go inside, nice cup of tea, have a shower because I absolutely soaked through. But yeah, wow, great day.